Hi, my name is Brittany Wells, and today I will be presenting an evaluation of a change effort by Vineyard Community Church in St. Louis, Missouri. To frame the conversation, I'd like you to think about how often we compare the soul to water. Whether it's the old gospel, "Down to the river to pray," the hymn that says, "I've got a river of life flowing out of me," or Joni Mitchell singing that she wished she had a river she could skate away on. There's something fundamental about the connection between the spirit and water. Water is fluid and unpredictable. It changes quickly and can come like a storm or trickle slowly by. So how can something with so much flow combine with strategy? Connecting the strategic to the spiritual is an environmental challenge for churches. The nature of church in America is changing. Attendance numbers are dropping across all demographic groups for Catholics, mainline Protestants, and evangelicals alike. At the same time, the social and spiritual needs of the community in St. Louis are different than they were 10 years ago. With these growing pressures, Vineyard Community Church is faced with a question: is spiritual enough? How can the church balance leading by faith with a strategic plan to create growth and better meet the needs of the church community? The Vineyard has had a difficult time navigating this question. The leadership has relied heavily on faith and spiritual direction without an emphasis on strategy or structure. It's been difficult to keep the Sunday morning experience relevant for the St. Louis community and make sure that the teachings align with the strategic vision of the church and are not repetitive. In addition to these issues, the lead pastor is also preparing for a sabbatical in the spring of 2019, and the church will have to find a way to cope while he is away. To start to create a more strategic approach to the Sunday morning teachings, the Vineyard decided to form a teaching team to plan and develop teaching series. Previously, 1 or 2 people would plan the series and write the teachings. Now a teaching team of 5 will share the strategic, logistical, and spiritual burdens of the Sunday morning worship experience. My analysis revealed several critical issues facing the change. First, discovery interviews showed that the team does not have a shared idea of success. Many team members have had a difficult time articulating what success for the team would even look like, and the answers that I did receive varied in scope and clarity. Next, a congruence model analysis demonstrated that the work of the team is not congruent with the rewards. The team members will be required to spend a considerable amount of time on this project, but they're already stretched thin from other church commitments. Third, there's a lack of strategic direction for the team. Many of the team members are not highly strategic people. They're sensitive people who like to move with the spiritual flow they perceive around them. Without a clear outline of the strategic vision of the church, it will be difficult for the team to create teachings that help advance that strategy. The final critical issue is the potential for injured feelings. There are several strong personalities on the team, and some of the more reserved members find it difficult to make themselves heard. There have also been challenges with certain team members butting heads in the past. My key recommendations for the church is to balance the strategic vision with the spiritual direction of the change effort. The change was not communicated when it began, and it came about very organically. Adding a formalized process to the change effort will help to smooth feelings that were injured during the initial transition and will create a better path towards success for the change. I recommend that the Vineyard use the switch change model to add more structure to the transition. This model is appropriate for the Vineyard because it is easy to customize and can be adapted to fit a change effort that has already begun. The first step is to direct the writer, or address the logical side of the change. One key element to direct the writer is for the Vineyard to follow the bright spots from previous success. The lead pastor has worked well with one of the teaching team members in the past to develop teachings for Sunday mornings. The team should model this previous success to avoid possible pitfalls. Next, the team will need to motivate the elephant, or address the emotional aspects of the change. It will be important for the team to shrink the change into more manageable milestones to create momentum. They should initially focus only on preparing for the pastor's sabbatical. Finally, the team needs to shape the path to create an environment that enables success. To do this, I recommend adopting the EOS Level 10 meeting format. The key elements that are missing from the current change effort are a meeting structure that will facilitate productive dialogue and encourage continued meetings, and a fully developed definition of success. The EOS Level 10 meeting format is a time management tool and guideline for how to run an efficient meeting, and can help address this issue. One of its strengths is that it follows a predictable format and is task-oriented. The system encourages participation from all attendees and discourages a few voices from dominating the discussion. Connecting rigid structure to spiritual practice is a stretch. I know that these recommendations will be challenging to accept for the Vineyard because it's an intuitive and free-flowing organization. I don't want the Vineyard to change who it is as a church or try to be something that it's not. But I think imposing structure to the change process and the teaching team meetings could help to curb the critical issues. It was Carly Simon who sang, "Let the river run, let all the dreamers wake the nation." I think with the right process in place, that's exactly what the Vineyard can do. So let the river run.